I was 5 when I told my mother that I was going to be a country singer. She didn't discourage me, but she kind of looked worried when that happened. But she's never told me not to do it. And then as I got a little bit older, they would let me play my parents' guitars and things like that. And when I was 9, they got me my very own. And it's all been downhill from there.
Telephones and postcards, I called you from the lobby bar on Tuesday. How's the okra coming up? Boy, I wish I had me some. Save me a plate. Yeah, I've been sleeping alright. I get a couple days in July. Kiss Dad for me. I love you both. Good night. Sparrow, oh, you wouldn't trade nothing for the way it feels to fly. It ain't fair though, how you miss the ground when you're out here in the sky. Higher than you've ever been, lonely like you've never been, and waiting on the wind to take you home. Hard rain over Fayetteville, Jack and Coke, a sleeping pill, living the dream. $30,000 feet down there, you're waking Daddy up in his chair, cutting the lights and locking the door and saying a prayer for a sparrow. You wouldn't trade nothing for the way it feels to fly. It ain't fair though, how you miss the ground when you're out here in the sky. Higher than you've ever been, lonely like you've never been, waiting on the wind to take you home. Higher than you ever been, lonely like you've never been, waiting on the wind to take you home. Sparrow, sparrow, sparrow,
My arms, before they were covered in tattoos, had one tattoo on the back of each arm, and it was a sparrow. And a friend of mine asked, why are there sparrows on the backs of your arms? And one is facing this way and the other was facing out. And I said, because sparrows and swallows come back to where they were born once a year. They never forget where they come from, and they mate for life. And those are qualities that I would love to improve in myself. And lo and behold, years later, we're on this writing retreat up in Lake Barkley. And there were 6 of us sitting around a coffee table, and we were talking about missing our parents and being on the road and how much we love it and how much our parents want us to do this. Our families, our spouses, our loved ones want us to do this and to succeed greatly. And they also miss us really bad. And we miss them too. And there's stuff that we trade. We miss holidays, we miss birthdays, we miss funerals. But they still support us through it. So I literally said, when I go to my mom's, I get in trouble because I'm always into the okra. We wound up with telephones and postcards. I called you from the lobby bar on Tuesday. How's the okra coming up? Boy, I wish I had me some. Save me a plate. And the song rolled off after that. I think I was 24, about to turn 25, and I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and my friend Jenny ran a storage place out here, and there was an apartment in the storage place, and so I can officially say I lived in a storage unit with my buddy Jenny until I could get a place. The more I learned, the more I realized I had a lot more to learn. I thought you come to town, you work hard, you probably can get a publishing deal if you're good enough. You probably can get a record deal as long as you're working hard and always trying to get better, and that's not how it works. Because the first thing they're going to tell anybody to do, and it doesn't matter what you weigh, you're going to have to lose 35 pounds. Now, that's fair. We could all stand to lose 35 pounds at some point in our life. And if your hair is curly, they're going to ask you to straighten it. Why? We don't know. But that's what they're going to do. And I would find out how things work, and it would break my heart. And then I would realize, this is the city I'm in love with. This is the industry I will spend my life in. There are things I'm going to have to do. So I made a rule. I will try anything twice. And I won't have to tell you when it doesn't work. Because when they tried to put me in fringy vests and things like that, I went and did it happily. Because when I came out of that dressing room, I don't have to tell you I look stupid. You can see that I look stupid. So I did make those concessions and try to play the games that I needed to play. But that momentum and that ruse is impossible to keep up. And eventually you go, rah, and you break out of it. And it either works for you or it doesn't. And it turned out for me being really honest about the fact that I'm never going to be Tammy Wynette. We already had Tammy. So that style just wasn't going to be my style. So I stuck to my guns.
Brown liquor and black coffee, it puts my headache off for now. The hurt last night put on me, still spinning me around. And I light up a smoke, even though I can't hardly breathe. First thing I reach for is the last thing I need. Another night of bad decisions, there's one still laying in my bed. The bastard in me wishes that he'd woke up first and left. You'd think a girl on fire would stay away from gasoline. The first thing I reach for is the last thing I need. Oh, the last thing I need is to need you like I do. And the first thing I reach for is anything but you. If I can keep away the lonely for a moment, well, that's good enough for me. The first thing I reach for is the last thing I need. If I can keep away the lonely for a moment, that's good enough for me. for is the last thing I need. The first thing I reach for is the last thing I need. That'll do it.
First Thing I Reached For was written at a writer's retreat, the first one I ever went on, with Mick Holland and Randall Clay. And the shortest version is to say that we were hungover. We had the good time flu. And we had a little bit of bourbon left in this bottle. We each had a cup of coffee. We're out on this front porch, and Randall came out and dumped a little of that bourbon in all the coffee. And I said, "What are you doing with the rest of my bourbon?" And he said, "Brown liquor and black coffee will put your headache off for now." And we just sat there on that screened-in porch and wrote it right from there. Songwriting has been therapy since before I knew what therapy was. And I think I didn't realize how therapeutic it was until I got on the road. We were so busy in the last few years that I went from writing 5 days a week when I wrote for a publishing company to writing a day a month. And then this weird crippling anxiety appeared. And it was never when I was on stage. It was never under that kind of pressure. It was things like making an eye doctor's appointment and stuff. Like, couldn't do it. Just would freak out. And so I sought out a therapist who's wonderful. And he said, "I'm glad you're here, but let me guess, you're not writing anymore?" Because since you were young, that has been keeping your anxiety at bay. So you're going to have to keep writing, which, I mean, hey, that's an easy fix, but it's write more. Yeah, women in country music. I thought when they said it's terrible, and I was like, surely not. It's surely not that bad. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. I can sum it up. If it wears a bra, it can't have a number one, right? That just sucks. It's getting better. It's getting better and better all the time. Maddie and Tay went number one recently. So Lindsay L went number one recently. Miranda went number one recently. So not that that's the most important thing either. But it is a very nice side effect of having great songs. There's so much competition, especially on the radio and on the charts and everything. Even getting slots on live shows. You just got to earn your spot. And I don't know what else to say except keep your chin up and keep making good music and create a good show and play it in such a way that people want to come 2 nights in a row. And that's all I know to do is just work really hard. Try to make good records. Because nothing's going to be fair, and it wouldn't matter if you were in welding, and it wouldn't matter if you were in sales, and it wouldn't matter. It's everything's a competition, and sadly, it gets skewed a little bit more towards males. Put on your big girl panties and do your stuff.
I heard go on, go, but just know where you're going to dead end. And playing in bars only makes you the star of a house band. Sometimes the hardest part was just to keep playing. I'd been gone long ago if I'd listened to what they were saying, but I didn't. I understand all the reasons we did it. And I can point out the names and the faces of the people who said it. Oh, but honestly, I just don't want them to get any credit. No, I didn't know. I never will. I never will. No, they just started a fire they can't control. Oh, no, no, and you know I wouldn't trade one moment for the way it feels. No, and I did, I don't, I never will. I never will.
Never Will is special in that you'll look at the co-writers on that song and you'll see the names of every single person in my band, plus one, plus Blue Foley. Chris Harris and Blue Foley and I wrote that song, but we wrote it off of a track that my guitar player Matt had done, a guitar track. And Chris Sancho, my bass player, was on the track playing the bass. And the song wouldn't have had the motion it needed until we took it to Quinn Hill, our drummer, and he put the groove on it. And there was so much contribution in us arranging what Chris and Blue and I had written lyrically from everybody in the band. It would have been an absolute sin to not have everybody be a co-writer on that song. And the subject matter was so important to us because it's about not listening to the people who tell you you must have a backup plan. It's about not listening to the people who tell you there's no way that's going to happen and pushing forward and just saying, screw it, I'm doing it. And you can either help me or get out of my way. And that song is so important to my heart. And of course, it became the title of the record too, which was fantastic. I would say that it's hard to make music in the money business. And I wish it was a little bit more the other way around. I wish we could forget more that the business of making music is a business. And it's supposed to sell trucks and beer and mattresses. It's got to. But the other side of it, I wish we could pay more attention and be more grateful to ourselves and to each other for the creative part. Because basically what we're doing is we're taking, this song doesn't exist yet, and then we just mold some words and some silence and some notes into something that gets stuck in your head that you want to listen to over and over or helps you through a bad day. I wish we could focus more on that